Students, do you know a book is gift to us which we can open it again and again, and reading is a discount for everything. Yes, you are right. Now it's time to read your chapter. In previous session we have completed the explanation of your chapter. Today we are going to read Geography chapter 2 Inside Our Earth. It is expected that you will open your textbook and read along with the teacher. Geography Chapter 2 Inside Our Earth. The Earth, our homeland, is a dynamic planet. It is constantly undergoing changes inside and outside. Have you ever wondered what lies in the interior of the Earth? What is the Earth made up of? Interior of the Earth. Just like an onion, the earth is made up of several concentric layers with one inside another. The uppermost layer over the earth's surface is called the crust. It is the thinnest of all the layers. It is about 35 kilometers on the continental masses and only 5 kilometers on the ocean floors. The main mineral constituents of the continental masses are silica and alumina. It is thus called as Sila. Si means silica and Al means alumina. The oceanic crust mainly consists of silica and magnesium. It is therefore called SEMA. Si is silica and Ma means magnesium. Just beneath the crust is the mantle, which extends up to a depth of 2,900 kilometers. Below the crust, the thinnermost layer is the core and with a radius of about 3,500 kilometers. It is mainly made up of nickel and iron and is called Ni. Ni means nickel and Fe is equal to ferrous, that is iron. The central core has very high temperature and pressure. Rocks and minerals. The Earth's crust is made up of various types of rocks. Any natural mass of mineral matters that makes up the Earth's crust is called a rock. Rocks can be of different color, size, and texture. There are three major types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. When the molten magma cools, it becomes solid. Rocks thus formed are called igneous rocks. They are called as primary rocks. There are two types of igneous rocks: intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks. Can you imagine lava coming out from the volcanoes? Lava is actually very red molten magma coming out from the interior of the earth on its surface. When this molten lava comes on the surface, Earth's surface, it rapidly cools down and becomes solid. Rocks formed in such a way on the crust are called extrusive igneous rocks. They have a very fine grain structure. For example, basalt. The Deccan Plateau is made up of basalt rocks. Sometimes the molten magma cools down deep inside the Earth's crust. Solid rocks are formed are called intrusive igneous rocks. Since they cool down slowly, they form large grains. Granite is an example of such rocks. Grinding stones used to prepare paste, powder of spices and grains are made up of granite. Rocks roll down cracks and hit each other and are broken down into small fragments. These smaller particles are called sediments. These sediments are transported and deposited by wind, water, etc. These loose sediments These loose sediments are compressed and hardened to form a layer of rocks. These types of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. For example, sandstone is made from grains of sand. These rocks may also contain fossils of plants, animals, and other microorganisms that once lived on them. Igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rocks called under great heat and pressure. For example, clay changes into slate and limestone into marble. Rocks are very useful to us. The hard rocks are used for making roads, houses, and buildings. You use stones in many games. For example, seven stones, hop, hopscotch, five stones. Find out some more games by asking your grandparents, parents, neighbors, etc. You will be surprised to know that one type of rock changes to another type under certain conditions in a cyclic manner. This process of transformation of the rock from one to another is known as the rock cycle. You have already learned when the molten magma cools, it solidifies to become an igneous rock. These igneous rocks are broken down into small particles that are transported and deposited to form sedimentary rocks. When the igneous and sedimentary rocks are subjected to heat and pressure, they change into metamorphic rocks. The metamorphic rocks, which are still under great heat and pressure, melt down to form molten magma. This molten magma again can cool down and solidify into igneous rocks. Rocks are made up of different minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and definite chemical compositions. Minerals are very important to humankind. Some are used as fuel, for example, coal, natural gas, and petroleum. They are also used in industries. Iron, aluminum, gold, uranium, etc. in medicine, in fertilizers, etc. So students, this was all about your geography chapter 2. Now here we have finished with the reading of chapter. Now let's start with the explanation of PPT. Just we will revise the entire chapter with the help of PPT now. Okay, so chapter 2, inside our earth. Earth as a dynamic planet. Inside the earth there is constantly changes going on. The temperature inside the earth increases by 1 degree for every 60 feet you go down. Scientists who study rocks and the earth's layers are called geologists. The movement of material deep within the earth may cause large change on its surface. The earth has a diameter of about 12,756 kilometers. Interior of the earth. Earth is just like an onion which is made up of several concentric layers with one inside another. So here I have given you example of onion and I ask you to find out one more food item which you can what we can say compare the earth's layer with that. I hope you have done that. Now the three layers of earth are as follow. The three layers are crust, mantle and core. So layers of earth. First one is crust, second one mantle, third one core, where core is again divided into two parts, inner core and outer core. So now let's see one by one. The crust. The uppermost layer of the Earth's surface is called as crust. It is the thinnest of all the layers. It is less than 1% of Earth's volume. The crust is fragmented with many plates which float on the mantle. When these plates come closer and get heat, it results in an earthquake. So we studied something happens deep inside the ground. Okay, it affects on the surface. The crust is of two types: continental crust and oceanic crust. First one from that, continental crust. It is made up of mainly two minerals, silica and alumini. So it is called as Sila, where Si means silica and Al means alumini. It is about 35 kilometers on the continental mass. Means below the continental mass we have continental crust of 35 kilometers. See, silica and alumini, the two minerals which the continental crust consists of. Next, oceanic crust. It is made up of mainly two minerals, silica and magnesium. So it is called as an SEMA, where Si means silica and Ma means magnesium. It is about only 5 kilometers on the ocean floor. So as we have continental crust for 35 kilometers, below the ocean floor we have oceanic crust just 5 kilometers. So silica and magnesium, the two minerals which the oceanic crust consists of. Next comes the mantle. The mantle. Beneath the crust is the mantle. It extends up to the depth of 2,900 kilometers. It forms the 16% of the total volume of the Earth's surface. It consists of hot, dense and semi-solid rocks. Okay, so here students, again I had explained you that because of the semi-solid rocks, the fragmented pieces of rocks float on the crust. And the third part, the core. This is the innermost layer of the interior. It has the radius of about 3,500 kilometers. It is made up of nickel and iron, so called as knife, where Ni means nickel and Fe means ferrous, that means iron. It has a very high temperature and pressure. The core is of two types. So again the core is divided into two types, inner core and outer core. So that the two minerals, these are the two minerals which the core consists of, nickel and ferrous, that is iron. So that was all about the interior of the earth. Now let's start with the rocks and minerals. The Earth's crust is made up of various types of rocks. Now what are rocks? Rocks are any natural masses of mineral matters that makes up the Earth's crust is called as a rock. Rocks can be of different colors, size, textures, and they are of three major types of rocks. Let's see: igneous rocks, sedimentary rock and metamorphic rock. So here you take a look at this picture. Three types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rock. Let's start with the first word, igneous rocks. The word igneous is derived from the Latin word ignis, means fire. Igneous rocks are formed through the cooling and solidification of magma or lava. They are called they are also called as primary rocks. There are two types of igneous rocks, intrusive igneous rocks and extrusive igneous rocks. From that, let's start with the first one, extrusive igneous rocks. Extrusive igneous rocks are also known as volcanic rocks. They are formed by the cooling of molten magma on the Earth's surface. The magma, which is brought to the surface through fissure or volcanic eruption, solidifies at a faster rate. So, extrusive igneous rocks are smooth, crystalline, and fine grained. Example, Deccan Plateau is made up of basalt rock. So, the basalt rock is an example of extrusive igneous rocks, and the entire Deccan Plateau is made up of this rock. Here I have again added one example, that any of the fort of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, you take an example which are almost made up of basalt rocks. Next comes the intrusive igneous rocks. Intrusive igneous rocks are formed from magma that cools and solidifies within the crust of a planet. Because these rocks are formed by slow cooling magma, they are coarse grained. Example, granite. Granite can be used in construction purpose also, students. Sedimentary rocks. Word sedimentary is derived from the Latin word sedimentum, which means settle down. Rocks, smaller particles, are called as sediments. These sediments are transported and deposited by wind, water, and other weathering agents. They get compressed and hardened to form layers of rocks. These rocks contain fossils of plants, animals, and other microorganisms. Example, sandstone. Last type of rock, metamorphic rocks. Igneous and sedimentary rocks can be changed into metamorphic rocks. This is formed under great heat and pressure. This process is called metamorphism, which means change in form. Next, uses of rocks. Hard rocks are used for making roads, houses, and buildings. So here I have given you an example of marble, granite can be used in a construction purpose. Small stones are used in many games such as Pitto, Kit and Gitti. Rock cycle. Process of transformation of the rock from one type to another is known as rock cycle. One type of rock changes to another type under certain conditions in a cyclic manner. So here, with the help of the rock diagram, I had explained, when the molten magma solidifies to become igneous rocks, these igneous rocks are broken down into small particles and transported and deposited to form a sedimentary rock. Now, these sedimentary rocks and igneous rocks are subjected to great heat and pressure. They change into metamorphic rock. Now, this metamorphic rock is continuously again with the great heat and pressure, and is under great heat and pressure, which melts down again to form a molten magma. So in this way, this is the cycle which goes on. And last part, that is minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and definite chemical compositions. Minerals are very important to humankind. For example, coal, natural gas, and petroleum are used in industries as a fuel, where iron, aluminium, gold, and uranium are used in fertilizers and medicine industries. So, students, that was all about your chapter. In the first three sessions, we have completed the explanation of chapter. In this fourth session, we have done the reading of chapter, and again we have revised the PowerPoint presentation. I hope your doubts regarding this chapter is cleared. Now we will meet in our next session with new chapter of civics. Till then, thank you, students.